You can find them on Twitter, you can find them on the gram. After listening to their podcast, you'll be sitting there like, damn, taking their teaching from one level to the next, reaching up to Canada and down to Mexico.
The one thing I was kind of going back to was in the videos when you talked about like all they're little but have a big impact, the accessibility features. You know, like, and now I understand the dyslexic font. Like, and what I love about it as a teacher, and like I said, I'm a technology teacher, 3rd grade to 8th grade, and I do everything from video editing and audio editing to 3D printing and design to engineering to, kind of run the whole gamut, coding, introduce kids to everything. But I love being able to just have the conversation with the kids of when they're creating a story. Would you like everybody to be able to read this? Would you like everybody to be, and then talk about, let's look at the dyslexic font. Let's look at the voice recordings of, what you put in there. Look at the picture you put in there. You can actually tell it what to tell the person who can't see it. Like it opens up such a world and such a discussion around empathy and compassion. And it's so awesome.
Yeah.
I mean,
it really is. And it's one of those things too, where, if we're being real about it, when I started making books with kids, that wasn't something I thought about. I was like, we're just making books. Like right. that was kind of it. And the more I learn about accessibility, the more I expose myself and the teachers that I work with and kids, the more it makes sense, because you want your books to be out there to the most people possible. And that means everyone. And so you need to make your books for everyone. I have my own kind of like accessibility moment, actually. So I was on hold with the cable company. I was trying to cancel my cable service, and I had the phone up and I was listening to the music in the background, and all of a sudden this blood curdling screech goes shooting through the phone, like straight into my ear. It's like the loudest thing I'd ever heard. And I was like, oh my gosh. And like my ear was ringing. I finished the phone call. And as the night went on, my hearing progressively got worse and worse and worse until it was gone. Like I lost hearing in my ear completely for almost 15 hours. And it was just so weird. Like I'm laying in bed on the bad ear or on my good ear. And my wife's like talking to me. I had no idea she was talking to me. And she's like tapping me. She's like, hello? Are you there? I was like, right. Oh, I'm sorry, I hear you. And so like it was bad. But like I had that moment where I was like, oh my gosh, this could happen to anybody at any time. Yep. And if this was me, a good portion of the books that I have made would be useless, because like all of the audio buttons, I couldn't hear all the video. I couldn't, and it scared me for a minute. Like I was like, wow, I need to really start thinking about this for others. And,
right.
So, I mean, luckily it came back, the hearing came back, everything was fine. But I do, when I make videos now, you think about the closed captioning. When when you make an audio button, you think about the transcripts, photos, like you said. There's so many options in there. It's really amazing.
Yeah, I just, like I said, I love being able to have that discussion with the kids as to, why, just even the why, about it, and just gives them pause for thinking.
Yep.
And so
thanks for listening to the Teacher Nerds podcast. Keep up with every new episode by subscribing on Apple Podcast, Spotify, Google Podcast, Anchor, or anywhere you listen. Remember to visit teachernerds.com, and that's nerds with a Z. Follow us on Twitter @TeacherNerds and on Instagram @TeacherNerdsPodcast. And thank you for being one of the Teacher Nerds.